Greetings, punks, goths, metalheads, herberts, herbetters, Martians and subterranean folk. How you all doing? My name's John and this is the Health Anarchist channel. Well, most of the time on my videos I'm out up on top of hills and on top of moors walking. But today I'm going to talk about some of the interesting, unusual historical finds that I've found over the years whilst I've been out walking on my travels. So I'll just get straight into it. A really good place for finding unusual historical finds I've found is along old riverbanks, because things get washed up to the sides of the river, to the banks, especially if there's been heavy rain like storms, because the water levels change, and with fast flowing water the bottoms get churned up, the bottom of the rivers, and things eventually get washed into the banks of the river. Now, some of the interesting things I've found is I found loads of these old bottle tops. Now I'll just show you a couple of those. Actually, here's 3 of them. Now I believe these are made of a substance called vulcanite. They feel hard, and these were in very old bottles, and you get interesting marks on the top of these depending on what the bottle contained. It was usually fizzy drinks or fizzy water, beer sometimes. And I'll just give you a close-up of these old bottle tops now. So talking about pipe heads, here's a pipe head here. This is an old Victorian or Edwardian woman from the times. I don't know exactly who it is. Here's a close-up. Now, most of the pipes are found Victorian or Edwardian. This is a Queen Victoria picture on a pipe, and it says Queen's Jubilee on the back. I'll just show you a picture of that close up. I really like this one too. This is like a dragon claw design. And just remember, these are just the pipe bowls. My very favourite clay pipe that I've found is this one. Some of you guys might like this. I don't know if you can see it there, it's got a skull and crossbones on it. Now it's actually the emblem for the 17th 21st Lancers Cavalry Regiment. Just give you a close-up of that one. I'd say this is the weirdest one that I've found. It's like a spooky, creepy hand, I reckon, holding a pipe bowl, and I think there's something spooky about that one. But yeah, I'll give you a close-up. I've got so many bottle tops with different brands on them, pipes with different designs. It'll take me all day to show you them all, so I'm just showing you a selection that I found while walking along riverbanks. Now, I do have a few full ones, not many out of about 100. I have about 4 full pipes that weren't broken, which was rare and lucky. That's one of the full pipes. So sometimes when I'm out walking, I come across old demolished or derelict buildings. Now, this was a really cool find in amongst a load of junk in the rubble of a demolished building. It was a historical building. I found some old coins. Now, these are 1797, and they were known as cartwheel pennies because they were huge. And they were made under Mad King George III's reign, which I'm not surprised. They weren't in use for very long, but like this 2p is so heavy. So a bit earlier than that, this was walking along the edge of a ploughed field. I found this, and it's a lead cloth bale seal. And they all have little designs with the different sort of manufacturers on them. just show you that now. So that was a nice historical find. I think it's about 17th century. Same period, this was field walking as well on the surface. I found two, which I believe are 17th century pub tokens. I'll just show you those. Now, these pub tokens, I think in the 17th century, they could be exchanged for beer, and I think some employers would pay their staff in partly in like pub tokens. I don't know what the deal was, but no doubt it was to profit the employer and the pub owners more than the employees, I reckon, which is a bit sad really. So going a bit further back in time, well, quite a bit further, I did actually find some Roman stuff once. This is when I had some friends who lived in Lincolnshire and they knew a farmer, and I was walking along his fields and I saw bits of Roman pottery, and I said, could a metal detect it, because I'd recently got a metal detector. So I did a bit of metal detecting there, and I found, apart from a lot of junk metal detecting, I found a couple of Roman coins, and these are really nice. I also found on that same field a few fragments of Roman brooches. I'll just show you those now. I don't know if you can really see those, so I'll give you a close-up in a second. There's another one. Now, one of these I found on the surface, so I don't even need a metal detector. But it's not so much the objects themselves, it's the stories around them that interest me, like who held those Roman coins last, who was wearing those brooches last, who had that hairpin in their hair, what were their names, what did they do, what was their story, life story, and you know, that's what fascinates me about them. Now, there was a Roman settlement about a mile away from where I found the Roman bits and pieces which had been excavated, but the whole area was peppered with Roman finds, because you know there's quite a lot of Roman activity in that area. I would do metal detecting again, but I think if I did it in the future I'd like to work alongside local amateur archaeologists, helping them, you know, find bits of history from the past and try to piece together better stories. So yeah, I would do it in the right circumstances again. Now we're going to go way back in time to the Stone Age, to the Mesolithic period, which was hunter-gatherers. Now these are finds that I found locally on the moor tops, because with all the weather burning the moor tops, the peat gets eroded, revealing older and older layers. Now, this one I just found walking. I'll just show you that now. It's actually a little tiny flint tool. Now, it doesn't look like much, but I thought it definitely was, so I sent it off to Manchester Museum and they said yes. They said it's a Mesolithic graving tool, which was interesting to me because it would have been used for carving lines or patterns into things, so it could have been used for ancient craft or artwork. So that was a buzzing find, and it's always nice having a link back to these ancient ancestors. Another really old find, I found this just like walking a friend's dog in when I was visiting them in Lincolnshire, and this is, I'm not 100% certain because I've not had it verified yet, but this I think is Stone Age arrowhead, I think Neolithic, but I don't know, I need to get that verified. And I found that in a molehill. Burrowing animals, all burrowing animals like rabbits, badgers, are all well known for excavating treasures and revealing them. But you know, I'm going to send this off to Manchester Museum and get it verified whether it is or isn't, but I think it is. Now, some of the things I find, I mean, a lot of people wouldn't find them interesting or they'd have no interest in them, but you know, I love history and I love the stories behind things and some of the interesting things that I found. This was in an old bottle, uh, an old Victorian bottle dump, because I've got quite a lot of old Victorian bottles as well. Now, this was a Victorian child shoe. The remains, there's not much of it left, just bits of leather, but it's absolutely tiny. It's like a doll shoe. I'll just give you a close-up of that now, but yeah, I really like that. It's just a bit weird, I guess. And I also like finding things like this little bird skull. I think it's a pigeon skull. But, so sometimes when I'm out walking, I come across old Victorian bottle dump sites, and I go and do a bit of digging myself in most of those cases. Sort of things I find there is things like this. It's an old poison bottle, and it was ribbed, so blind people could read it, and it says not to be taken. Not sure what kind of poison that was. Now this bottle, it wasn't in a bottle dump. This was just a chance find while I was out walking. There was a bit of a mini tornado the other year, and it ripped a load of trees up, well, loads in the air, caused a lot of damage. But when a tree gets ripped up, it leaves like a cavity where all the roots were, like a bowl-shaped hole in the ground. Now, I found this at the edge of one of those cavities, and it's a really old bottle. It's a local Staley Bridge bottle, and apparently it was a well-known company historically. It says West Wales registered W. West Wales Staley Bridge, trademark Staley Bridge Limited. Now this is nice because it's got that local connection. I mean, a lot of the bottles that are found in dumps, they're from a local area. But this one was nice because it wasn't from a bottle dump, it was just an isolated find. And it was nice cleaning this up and seeing what it was. Now I think I do find stuff because I'm interested in history, and I do go looking for things. If I'm on a historical site, then I've got my eyes peeled looking for stuff, especially any sort of disturbed ground, ploughed fields, holes, animals, excavations where they've dug the burrows and chucked loads of soil out. I'm always on the lookout, and I think because my mind's on the history, because that's what I like, I'm sort of soaking in the history of an area, and my mind's not on a reality TV show from the other night, or the football, who's going to win. My mind's just on the history, and I think because I'm tuned in like that, that's why I tend to find stuff. It's not all the time. What I've showed you spans many years out walking, and I love finding these little windows into the past. So I think I'm going to wrap this video up now for today anyway. So I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did enjoy watching this, don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe. And until the next video, keep yourself very safe, and don't forget, be different, stay weird, and stay free. Bye.